Where lives, it's wild how a small problem can spiral into something that weighs us down, right? But then you see those incredible people who tackle even the biggest challenges with such grace. They don't crumble under pressure. Instead, they expand their hearts so much that there's just no room left for pain. Today's story is all about that concept. How keeping your heart small can make even the tiniest hiccup feel like a mountain, while a bigger heart can turn life's toughest times into mere bumps in the road. So, let us dive in and see if we can find a little piece of ourselves in this tale. Listen closely, because this isn't just a story. It's a moment to reflect. Once upon a time, there was a young man named Ryan. He was really struggling and felt like life was just one big cloud of gloom hanging over him. He was always down in the dumps, convinced that nothing was ever going his way. Can you relate? I know I can. It's so easy to get caught up in that cycle of negativity. One day, Ryan decided to take a break from his worries and popped into a cozy little cafe in his town for a cup of tea. He was sitting there, lost in his thoughts, feeling the weight of the world on his shoulders. He didn't have a job. His family was on his case about his future, and the uncertainty was eating away at him. It was one of those moments when you just want to disappear, While he was quietly nursing his cup of tea in a corner, he couldn't help but overhear a conversation from the next table. A few older men were chatting, and even though he wasn't eavesdropping on purpose, their voices were hard to ignore. One of them said, "You know that old man who lives behind the hills? He seems like an ordinary guy, but he's got a treasure trove of wisdom. My son was really struggling, but after talking to that old man, he completely turned his life around." That caught Ryan's attention. Another man chimed in, "Yeah, people say he can lighten your heart just by talking." Ryan felt a spark of hope. He thought to himself, if this old man can help someone else, maybe he can help me too. My life is a mess, and I could really use some peace of mind. So, with a newfound sense of purpose, Ryan decided to seek out this wise old man. That evening, he set off on a quiet walk toward the hills, where the old man was said to live. After what felt like an eternity of walking, he finally reached a small, humble house. With a mix of excitement and nervousness, he knocked on the door and said, "Grandpa, I have so many problems in my life. I always feel pain and sadness. Please, can you tell me how I can be happy?" The wise old man listened intently, nodding as Ryan poured out his heart. But instead of responding right away, the old man quietly walked away. Ryan was left standing there, a bit confused but willing to wait. A few moments later, the old man returned, holding a glass of water and a small bowl filled with salt. "Take a handful of salt from this bowl and put it into the glass," he instructed. Ryan, a bit skeptical but curious, did as he was told. The old man then asked, "How does the water taste?" Ryan grimaced and replied, "It tastes really bad. All I can taste is the salt." With a knowing smile, the old man said, "Now, let's go for a little walk." They strolled over to a nearby lake, and the old man said, "Now throw the salt into the lake." Ryan did just that, tossing the salt into the vast body of water. Then the old man asked, "Now, take a sip of the lake water." Ryan drank some water from the lake and was astonished. "It tastes fine." "I don't taste any salt at all," he exclaimed. The old man smiled, placing a comforting hand on Ryan's shoulder. "Look, son, pain in life is like that salt. It's not about how much pain you have, but how big your heart is. If your heart is like a small glass, even a little pain will make you feel bitter. But if your heart is like this big lake, even significant pain won't affect you as much." He continued, "The glass and the lake symbolize patience. If your patience is small, then small problems will feel enormous. But if your patience is vast, then even the most challenging situations won't break you. Everyone faces problems. No one is exempt from pain. Just like we can't truly understand happiness without experiencing sadness, we also can't learn life lessons without facing challenges." Ryan listened intently, realizing that he had been focusing too much on his problems, which made everything feel heavier. If just a little salt can make a whole glass of water bitter, think about it, the old man said. If your heart is small, even a tiny problem will drown you in sadness. So when life throws challenges your way, don't shrink like a glass, expand like a lake. That's how you can embrace a life filled with peace and happiness. Ryan left that encounter feeling lighter as if a weight had been lifted off his shoulders. He understood that the key to happiness was about avoiding pain, but learning to embrace it with an open heart. It was a lesson he would carry with him for the rest of his life. If this story resonated with you in any way, share it with others. You never know who might need to hear it. Thank you for listening.